22 minutes after the hour. Do you have a son or a daughter who wants to go into broadcasting? Well, I'm sitting here looking through the glass at our students, assistant producers, interns for this term, Will Versero and Louise Gradwell. And I'm going to talk quietly so they can't hear what we're talking about. But recent college graduates with degrees in mass communication and journalism are having a harder time than ever finding full-time work in their field. Matt Smith is listening up there, too. A new study by the University of Georgia reveals the number of 2009 graduates who found full-time journalism-related work was at the lowest level since the survey began 24 years ago. It's the annual survey of journalism and mass communication graduates reports that bachelor degree holders in those areas of study found full-time work within a year, 55.5%, half of them, I guess. Nearly a 5% drop from the previous year. In 2007, the percentage of journalism graduates finding work was as high as 70%, but it seems to be shrinking fast. Maria Marron is the professor and chair of the Department of Journalism at Central Michigan University and the outgoing president of the Association of Schools of Journalism and Mass Communications. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
What do you make of this study? What are we to think?
Well, I think the study is reflective of the overall bad economy in terms of employment. Interestingly enough, the study did show that in December, the report from graduates was low. It was about 55%, but that was in keeping with the unemployment rate for the national age cohort of which the graduates are a part. However, the study did show an uptick in the early months of 2010. The figure was lower in February, but March, April, and May showed improvement, with May showing the highest rate of 62.8%. So there is an uptick this year, and Dr. Lee Becker, the person who conducted the survey, did indicate last week at the ASJMC annual convention that, in fact, the results for this year are looking more positive.
Where would you say that we're losing the jobs? Is it in the front line, the print reporters? Is it newspapers are shrinking fast? A lot of them are going out of business, right?
Correct, yes. Actually, newspapers have shrunk fast. But interestingly enough, the study did show that the graduates who had specialized in news editorial or print journalism did better overall than other graduates, with about 58% having employment compared with the 55%. Students who specialized in telecommunications did not do so well in 2009. They had a 51% full-time employment rate. And advertising students did not do as well, but apparently that was reflective of the actual sample. Public relations students also had a more difficult time finding work. The students who were most successful were those who had very relevant online skills for today's media. If they could blog, do video, do audio, have those types of skills, they were better prepared for the workplace.
I was going to ask you that question next. If you're a CMU student or a student anywhere who's about to come out of college with a degree in, as you say, telecommunications, mass communications, journalism, what do you do to set yourself apart? What do you do to increase your chances? You say you can't focus on one area. You can't be a print journalist. You can't be you have to do it all, huh?
That's correct. You have to be able to work across platforms, as they say. And you have to have the online skills, because that's what employers are seeking. At Central Michigan University, we have an online major as well as a photojournalism major and a general journalism major. And any of our areas essentially will equip the students to be prepared for the workforce. Now, 4 in 10 respondents to the Becker survey, to the graduate enrollment survey, or the employment survey, did suggest that they were disappointed with the skills that they had acquired at whatever university they went to. However, 2/3 of them said that they would continue to do the same major. They were very happy with the outcome of the major that they did.
Well, you must be very happy when you hear about students who leave CMU and go on to find jobs in journalism and broadcasting. There are plenty of them, at least from my era. I was at CMU in the 80s, and when I look around the broadcast world, I see lots of vibrant people who came out of Mount Pleasant.
Correct. I think we've had a very strong cohort of very successful alumni over the years. The 1980s was the golden era for employment and for opportunity, I think. So many of our graduates are in very key positions. And this year, Neil Hopp, who is the director of student publications at CMU, has told me that he can't keep up with the demand for our graduates. One of the most recent successes I heard was a former editor of CM Life who has gone to the to the newspaper in Phoenix, the Arizona Republic, as the online editor.
Wow.
Another young man has landed a job as sports reporter on his way to being sports editor, I guess, at the Des Moines Register. So our graduates have been getting very good placements this year, as always.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. May I ask where you're from?
I'm actually from Ireland, but I've lived in the United States for 20-plus years.
Yeah, which part of Ireland?
County Laois, Middle.
All right. It's a very beautiful accent, and it always makes my day to hear an Irish accent on this program. And it's like listening to music, your voice.
Thank you very much. In Ireland, I'm told I have an American accent.
I'm sure if you're there for any amount of time, a week or two, it reverts back, doesn't it?
That's probably correct. Gets refurbished.
Well, I'm going to come up there and meet you sometime. I really would like to do that, or you can join us here in our Gillespie Group storefront studio. And it's my good pleasure to speak with you this morning. Thank you very much. So there is hope. There is hope, you're saying, for graduates.
I believe so, and that's what the annual graduate survey has shown.
Okay.
The dip is really reflective of the national unemployment dip in general.
All right. Thank you very much. Great to talk to you. Slánga Fóill.
Likewise. Thank you very much.
All right. 29 minutes after the hour there. Maria Marron.